Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In this video today I'm reacting to Living with Dark Winters in Sweden by Jonna Jinton. So I've heard about the dark winters, there's not much sunlight at all, but this video had 19 million views, so I definitely have very high expectations. Let's get right into it for today. Let's go!
My name is Jonna and I live in the north of Sweden.
Oh, okay, so it's pronounced Jonna. Okay, I think I got it right that time. I was saying Jonna, like that's how I read it, so Jonna, okay. Wow, look how beautiful it looks, and obviously the northern lights with that hut, that looks so cool.
Sweden is a country with a lot of light. And it's also a country with a lot of darkness. It all depends on what season it is.
Yeah, I've heard like during the summers it's like mainly light. Even at like midnight it'll still be light out, which is kind of crazy to hear. Like that is just insane. But look how beautiful it looks, man.
Just like many other countries in the northern hemisphere, there is a strong contrast in the light conditions between summer and winter. In the winter it's dark almost all the time. And in the summer, it's light all the time. During the summer, in the very north of Sweden, the sun never sets between the end of May until the middle of July. So
wow.
You can see the sun 24 hours a day, and that is called the midnight sun.
See, that's cool, but I feel it'd just like mess up my body clock if that was the case, but I'm pretty sure they're probably used to it by now. But yeah, that definitely threw me off. Wow, look how beautiful the scenery is, man.
And then, during the winter in the very north of Sweden, it's the opposite. For a couple of weeks, the sun never rises above the horizon, which means that there is no sunlight for about a month. And that is called the polar night. These extreme contrasts in light is caused by the rotation of the Earth in relation to the position of the sun. And the further north you go, the bigger the contrast. I live in the middle north of Sweden, and if I'm lucky and it's a clear sky, I can see the sun above the treetops for about an hour during the darkest time of the year. It's the middle of the day, and this is how high the sun goes up now. It's just a little bit over the horizon, or over the trees. But winters like this one, when it's been cloudy every day, I actually didn't see a glimpse of the sun for over a month. But just a few days ago, now in the beginning of January, I got to feel the sun on my face again. This is the first glimpse of the sun that we see in over a month. Do you see this? And that feeling, when you begin to feel the sunlight again in January, is always overwhelming. It's like seeing the sun for the first time in your life.
Yeah, because a month is a long time to have no sunlight. So yeah, it would definitely throw you off, and then it comes back. And look how nice it looks, man. It must be like such a great feeling. I would love that. I would kind of like to experience no sunlight. Just, I don't know if I could go a whole month though. I think maybe a week could be cool.
Even if it can be hard sometimes with these kinds of light conditions, I really love it, and I would never want to change it. I think the light is never as beautiful as it is during these most extreme times of the year. When it's summer, I usually change my rhythm and stay up all nights and then sleep in the forenoon instead. The light is so beautiful in the middle of the night, and as a filmmaker and photographer, it's like a dream to be out and capture the beauty of the bright nights of June.
She's got to live in one of the most beautiful places on earth though.
And then in the winter, even if we don't get so much sunlight, we at least get a few hours of twilight during the day. And that light is the most beautiful kind of daylight that I know.
I
It's
agree
like
with that.
experiencing a long sunrise without a sun. And when it's a clear sky and the sun is rising just a tiny bit above the treetops, it spreads a soft and pink light all over the landscape. And that is beyond beautiful. Around 3 in the day, it's already getting dark, and it makes the evenings feel never-ending.
I do like the winter a lot though. Like, it just makes you feel so cozy. You get a nice hot chocolate. You get the blankets. You're wrapped up nice. And with the scenery and the view she has, I think it'd be really great to experience this.
But the
And she had the
darkness
fire.
makes us see what is never
Fireplace.
visible in the light. Because actually, we do get sunlight from thousands of suns far, far away.
And you can see the stars.
I live in a place where there's no light pollution, and the night sky is breathtaking. And for me, that is one of the reasons that I really love the winter here.
Yeah, look at all the stars, because I live in London, the city pretty much, and yeah, you barely see any stars. It's basically like just pitch black. You can see it if you go a little bit further out, but yeah, you don't really see many stars. You see a few occasionally, but yeah, nothing like she just shown.
And now and then, the sun sends us a greeting in the darkness.
The Northern
Particles
Lights.
from storms on the surface of the sun comes traveling towards the earth, colliding with our magnetic field and creating the aurora borealis, the northern lights that dances in the sky. I can never find the right words to describe how much I love to stand under the northern lights on a cold and dark winter night. I can take the darkness any day, as long as I get to see the stars and the northern lights. It makes it all worth it. But even though there is so much beauty to find in these special kinds of light conditions that we have here in the north, I would lie if I said that it's always easy to live and adapt to them, because it's not. Well, the summer is easy. I don't think you can have too much light. The only thing that people often ask me is if it's harder to sleep when
Yes,
it's light
that's a
all
good
night.
question.
And for me personally, if I want to sleep during the night, I have no problem with that. And for those who do feel like it's a problem, it's easily fixed with some thick and dark curtains.
I guess.
But the winter and the darkness is definitely much more challenging. And I can only speak from my own experience now. The lack of sun.
That's actually got me wondering, how does she take out the rubbish? Like, how does she take out the trash where she lives? I doubt she has, like, average garbage collection. So that's I'm kind of interested, like, how she lives. Because it looks like she's very secluded. I doubt she had, like, any supermarkets near her. I'm definitely very intrigued right here.
Light makes me more tired. And during the darkest and coldest months, between November and March, I sometimes struggle to keep the energy up. It's harder to get up in the morning when it's dark outside. Our body naturally want to wake up with the sun. And in the afternoon, I often get confused with the time, since the darkness makes it feel like it's much later than it actually is. And the lack of daylight makes me struggle more as a filmmaker, since I only have 1 hour of good light to film in a day, compared to the 24-hour of good light in the summer. So the darkness, combined with the cold, make things a bit more challenging. And I know I'm not the only one struggling to keep up the energy during this time of the year.
Okay, she's taking the cold plunge.
But of course, there is many things you can do to make the winters a little easier. I want to mention a few things that helps me adapt better to the lack of sunlight. For me personally, I think that the tiredness that I feel in the winter is the hardest part. The energy level is so low sometimes. And the cure to that is not always to sleep more. It can actually be to do the opposite. So I try my best to keep being active and moving my body as much as I can, and get as much daylight as possible. I go for long
so
walks
cute
with
with
my
the
dog
dog.
every day. And if the weather is good, I like to go out in the forest with my snowshoes and my camera, or go skiing. I also love to take ice baths. It's something I started doing a few years ago, combined with breathing exercises, using the Wim Hof method, and it has become my favorite way of boosting myself with new energy when I need it the most. Going into that...
Yeah, you guys have to let me know about the ice baths, because I know a lot of people kind of do the ice bath. It's meant to be really good for you. I've never done it personally, but like, you know, when the water's too cold and you get into it in the bath, it's like, it takes your breath away kind of. So let me know if you actually do ice baths and what you kind of think about this, because I would like to try it once, but I don't think it'd be something I would do consistently.
Freezing water is actually the last thing that my body wants to do in that moment.
Yeah, I feel like your body's like, no,
Putting
no.
myself into that kind of discomfort is awakening something in me that helps me reset my body. Believe it or not, but cold swims and cold showers has many good health
I have heard
benefits.
that.
It's not for everyone, of course, and it's important to get knowledge before trying an ice bath if you have never done it before. But for me, it has been a great source of energy and joy during the winter time. So, I really feel a big difference.
See, that's the thing about the ice bath. I feel like it would give you energy, because, like, say you're feeling a bit tired, you're like, oh, it kind of wakes you up. So I can see where people are coming from with that.
In my energy levels in the winter when I move my body in some way. It doesn't need to be a full workout, but just something, a little every day, that makes you feel alive.
That's a good tip.
When we can't get enough energy from the sun, I think it's even more important to make sure that we get enough energy and nutrition from our food. Nature has so much to give us in the summer that we can harvest and save for the winter when we need it the most.
Oh, okay, so I guess she grows her own food and stuff like that. Okay. That kind of answers some of the questions I had before.
Here in the north, we have plenty of berries in the forest, so I like to pick tons of blueberries and lingonberries and put in the freezer so that we can eat berries and drink juice from berries every single day during the whole winter. I also like to pick different herbs that are good for our health and dry them to make my own tea for the winter. One of my favorite teas to drink when it's cold and dark outside is simply made out of birch leaves. I pick them just as they begin to bloom in the spring, while they are still small and light green. And the tea smells and tastes just like how it smells like in the spring. And in the middle of the winter, I think it feels so comforting to have a piece of the spring to remind you of the wonderful time to come when everything is blooming and the birds are singing again. And of course, I also take vitamin D supplements, since we don't get anything from the sun in many months.
Oh, that's a good idea as well.
Even though that would never replace the sun, I believe it can help a little bit. The list of things you can do to handle the darkness is endless. These were just to mention a few. But I think that the most important thing of all is to accept and adapt to the cycles of nature. I definitely feel a big difference in the energy during summer and winter, both in nature and in myself. And that doesn't mean that it's right or wrong, it's just different. I think the winter and the darkness can cause a lot of unnecessary suffering when we are trying to force ourselves to feel the same as we do in the summer. It's okay to feel tired. It's okay to feel lack of inspiration, and it's okay to need more sleep and to let things slow down. A flower would never force itself to bloom in the cold winter. So why would we?
I like the motivational bit she's
This way
doing
of
at the
thinking
end.
changed my way of dealing with the different seasons. I love the winters just as much as I love the summers. They both have their own benefits and challenges. And I think it gets much easier when we let go and accept what we feel instead of fighting it, and accept the cycles in nature and the cycles in ourselves and learn to live at it, like a dance.
Okay, got a nice dance at the end. I love the contrast you're doing through the different seasons, the same dance, that's so cool.
So, this is how it is to live with the light and the darkness in the north of Sweden, from my perspective. The extreme contrasts in light also creates a bigger contrast to the seasons, and they all have their own beauty. I love the constantly changing seasons, and that you can see and feel how the light changes a little bit for every single day that goes by. The beautiful balance of light and darkness is my greatest source of inspiration, and it makes every day feel new and different.
And I do have to say, she's a great filmmaker though, like she did a great job with this video. So well shot and edited. That was really cool, I like that a lot. Is that the end? And yes it is. Definitely going to subscribe to and watch more videos. But if you guys want more reaction videos like this, drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. But I really enjoy this type of style. She's kind of living like that lifestyle, kind of off the grid type. That's what I'm getting from it. She grows her own food. She kind of lives in like a house in like the north of Sweden, in the forest kind of, and it's really interesting just to see the dark winters and the contrast between obviously the light summers where they have mainly sunlight. And she's kind of right about the fact that you can get dark curtains, I guess, but going outside at midnight and seeing like sunlight would definitely throw off my body clock. But I feel like you probably get used to it after experiencing it for many years, because like she has. But I really enjoy her style of filming. She's obviously a very great speaker. I like the motivational part at the end. And also the way it's filmed, like she showed some of the most beautiful locations, sceneries I've ever seen in my entire life. I need to visit this place. I don't know if I'd want to live there like that, but I feel like going there, especially during the cold winter, experience the true beauty of nature would be such a cool experience, especially to experience the Northern Lights. But I kind of would like to see more of her videos, so if you guys give me any more suggestions like that, obviously drop a like on the video, give me some suggestions, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day, everyone. This was my reaction to Jonna. I really like her style. She is so talented.